Hi guys, it's LindsayAnn. Welcome back to another fall-themed episode. Today we are making tender, fluffy pumpkin spice buttermilk biscuits with a homemade spiced honey butter to go with it. These are the perfect impressive addition to the Thanksgiving table or to serving at an autumn brunch or even for dinner with my pumpkin mac and cheese and fall spinach salad. They've got that warm cinnamony pumpkin flavor that I just love this time of year and makes them so much more festive than plain old dinner rolls, and I promise you they're so easy to make. So I partnered with Krusteaz to make these biscuits using their buttermilk pancake mix because the mix already has the flour, a little sugar, salt, leavening, and the buttermilk already in the mix, so it saves you a ton of steps and makes these really simple to make. So just measure out 2.5 cups of the pancake mix into a measuring cup and pour that into your mixing bowl. Then add 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice to give our biscuits that hint of all the warm fall spices. Next, we're going to grate in 5 tablespoons of frozen butter right over the dry mixture and mix it in with a fork. And I like to use this trick of grating frozen butter right into the dry ingredients instead of trying to cut cubes of cold butter into the mixture because it makes it a lot easier and it's going to keep your butter cold, and that's what's going to give you that nice flaky tender biscuit. So after the butter is all incorporated, I like to just take my bowl, pop it in the freezer while we get the wet ingredients together to make sure it stays nice and chilled. And as always, you guys can get all the ingredients and instructions on my website at LindsayAnnBakes. So after the video, head on over there for all the details and more of my favorite Thanksgiving recipes. So for the wet ingredients, we're gonna mix together 3/4 cup of pumpkin puree to give our biscuits that rich pumpkin flavor. And this is just 100% pumpkin from a can. Just make sure you're not getting the pumpkin pie mix that's in a can. 1/3 cup of cold milk and 1 tablespoon of honey for a little sweetness. Now I'm just going to go get our bowl from the freezer and just make a well in the center to pour our wet ingredients in. And we really want to make sure we're not over mixing our dough just to make sure they stay nice and soft and tender. Then just drop the dough into little mounds right onto a parchment-lined cookie sheets, about 2 inches apart. Now at this point, you can freeze the biscuit dough to make them another time or make them fresh on Thanksgiving. Just add a minute or 2 to the baking time if you're making them frozen. I can't wait to give these a try, so we're gonna pop them in a preheated 425-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 12 to 16 minutes or until the tops are nice and golden. So while our biscuits are in the oven, we're gonna whip together some homemade cinnamon honey butter to go with them. And this super easy little extra touch is what's gonna make serving your biscuits so impressive, and that little extra sweet, creamy richness is really gonna set these biscuits over the top. So all we do is beat a stick of room temperature butter in a bowl until it's nice and smooth. And we're just gonna add 3 to 4 tablespoons of honey to sweeten it up. And a teaspoon of cinnamon or pumpkin pie spice to make it extra festive for the season. And just beat this all together for a few minutes on medium speed until it's nice and light and fluffy. Now we're just gonna transfer the butter to a serving dish. And I've also done this where I piped the butter into little individual portions with a piping bag fitted with a star tip for a fancy touch. But however you serve it, this stuff just really complements the biscuits so well, especially when they're nice and warm right out of the oven. So I'm gonna go check to see if they're ready. Look at how gorgeous these turned out. I'm just gonna transfer them to a little basket with a tea towel to keep them nice and warm. Look at that crispy top with that soft, fluffy center. Oh, these look so good. Now let's just spread on some of our spiced honey butter. And I like to spread on a little cranberry sauce too to make it extra special. That biscuit is so soft and fluffy, and you really get all those fall flavors from the pumpkin and that hint of cinnamon and nutmeg, and the cranberry on top with cinnamon honey butter just really makes these an extra special treat. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this special fall episode. Head on over to lindsayannbakes.com for the full recipe and tons more that I know you're gonna love, and be sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel to be the first to check out my all new videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.